Hey everybody, how you doing? Back again. Ivy Keith, this is B2B Roll with Big John C back at engineering. Here we go. We're about to go off on another fantabulous show.
Fantabulous.
I think I'll go with poetic license. I'll implement the poetic license. Someone actually challenged me to a rap contest on IG. No, I'm serious. I'll tell you right.
Epic rap battles.
A rap battle. Some guy, I commented on something, and then the guy comes up, and I look on this thing, and he's critiquing everybody, and it's this guy. So this is white rapper from using the British accent, and he's rapping like that. This is before we get into the show. I'm just saying this up front. And he challenged, then I said, he had commented on me. And so I said, look, he sounds better than you. And then he comments back, he goes, look, haha, I sound better than you, ha ha ha. And I said, you should be a comedian because that's very, very funny. And I put all the emojis, ha ha ha, the joke emoji.
Who won the epic rap battle?
Well, we never battle, but I will crush him. I don't rap battle. I go to war, okay? I never rap battle. I go to war. Don't get into this. This is no 50 Cent, gangster stuff. No, I go to war. I don't rap battle, okay? It's the last man standing. So if it's going to go 30 tracks, it's going to go 30 tracks. Believe that, all right? Believe that. I haven't done 30 tracks.
I won't challenge you.
Yeah, it's a rap battle. It's a rap battle. To you, but to me, it's a war.
Epic rap battle.
Yeah. What he just said. Yeah. So anyway, applaud me. Can I get some applause too?
Yeah, we can get some applause. Yeah. Sure.
Right, yeah. We're going to my applause.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. We gotta go one. We gotta have to go with the sleepy nighttime stuff or with the applause.
I did that. I did that accidentally on purpose.
And
what do you want now?
In his defense, he hasn't been here in a while.
Yeah. I forgot where all the buttons are.
All the buttons.
You still want the applause? Nah, we'll save it for later.
Do you know which one it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Not that it's not a live audience. Okay, it's not a live audience. I see. I have no problem finding that button. Yeah. Okay. Hey, how y'all doing? It's been a while. I know. So here's the deal. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to politics lately, but the politics is crazy, and I keep telling you about the fake stream media, right? And they're staying consistent to what I've been saying for years, right? For years, no such thing as a mainstream media. They call themselves a mainstream, but they're really fake stream because they're all part of the same echo chamber. They're just like the lower one. They're the ones that's...
Are you speaking of a network specifically?
I'm speaking of all those networks specifically.
You think they're all fake?
I'm talking about MSNBC. I'm talking about CNN. I'm talking about ABC. All of them. How many more are there? I'm not even talking about Fox. And News Nation.
Newsmax.
Forget Newsmax. We already know they're in the wrong wing echo chamber. So what's that new? News Nation? The new one. With News Nation.
Is that the new one?
That's the new. It is. I think it's News Nation. With Mario Cuomo's son.
Oh, is that where he ended up?
Yeah, that's where he's at. That's where he's at right now. And some other guy that left MSNBC. And you got a few people, but yeah, they're all the same. And I put a lot of podcasters in there. I put TYT. What's that?
The Young Turks.
The Young Turks. I throw them in there too because they're the same way. I put Bill Moyer in there. And don't get me wrong, there's some hosts on the networks, on the fake stream media networks that are, they're good. They're good. But I call them when they act funny, like Rachel Maddow when she torpedoed. I will never get over when she torpedoed Hillary Clinton. Right? She put the blueprint in. She set the blueprint for Donald Trump to beat Hillary Clinton. Right? Bird dogging. I mean, they've been trying. They tried it with. They tried the same playbook with Kamala, and I'll tell you about Kamala. I don't know how to pronounce the name Kamala, and I'll tell you how I was educated into Kamala, how how to pronounce that name, right? So
it rhymes with Pamela.
like Kama,
Kamala rhymes with Pamela.
no Kama like the Kama,
Kamala.
like Kama.
Kamala. That's what I said. Kamala rhymes with Pamela.
Okay. That's like half the show, right? How much?
It's not Kamala.
It's Kamala.
It's not Camilla.
It's Kama.
It's Kamala.
Kamala. And I'll tell you how we got
Get it
that.
right.
Yeah, I got it right. I got it right. I'll tell you how.
Oh,
I got
no,
it.
you have it right. There's somebody else that can't get it right.
Oh, there's a lot of somebody else.
Yeah.
You know. And then
Like purposely mispronounce her
and
name.
then you got the ones who purposely mispronounce it, right? And then everybody else get more confused. But yeah. Well, I said fake stream media. Yeah, the bird dog, and they was trying to bird dog Kamala, and Walz, not Waltz with the T, but Walz with WALZ, Walz, right? They were trying to bird dog him. They was using JD Vance. They was using JD Vance the bird dog him, right? What that means is that wherever they go, JD Vance followed and was talking. He put on a little thing here and there, and the news he tried to take the news coverage. But when they covered him, he sounded like a fool. It's like, so now Donald Trump is starting to, we got to go into, overdrive, right? So wherever they go, they want to bird dog them. So,
what does it mean to bird dog?
To follow him around, to basically follow him around, and wherever they go, the other people appear. For example, if you go someplace, somebody else appear there, like stalking you. It's like stalking. It's what it really is. It's stalking. They're really stalking them, right? So, but here's the problem: when Kamala and Tim, right, go somewhere, their crowds are off the chain. They're filling up. Whatever.
Oh, it's AI. It's not really.
Yeah, it's AI. It's amazingly enlightening. Enlightening is enlightening. That would be an E, right? No, amazingly into. Give me a word that goes with that. Amazing.
Oh, AI.
Yeah, AI.
Amazing intelligence.
Amazing intelligence. Amazingly interesting. That's what her crowds are. They're amazingly interesting. It's like,
you know what's amazingly interesting?
No.
We had a whole discussion before the show about the mic.
What about the mic?
You forgot everything we talked about.
I'm talking right now.
You're talking.
I'm talking in the mic now, right?
Okay.
Now I'm in the mic.
You're getting closer.
I'm getting let me change the mic around because we were talking about the mic. I actually set the mic. All right, okay, there we go. I'm leaving it at that.
Yeah.
We had this fascinating conversation about the mic, and now we're talking about the amazingly interesting Kamala Tim. That sounds weird. Kamala Waltz. Now it sounds like they're married. Crowd.
Anybody know what her last name was? No one knows what her last name is. Oh, it's Harris.
It's Harris. Oh, here's the weird. See, you get me off topic, but the topic that because of my flexibility, it shows because Trump was talking about. In case y'all know what that little side tower was about, Trump was talking about. Anybody know her last name is like. Dude, you know her last name, man. Everybody know her last name. It's Harris. And it's more fascinating when you say that. You bring more attention to her, right? So he goes, did you see the what is it, the Times magazine? It was Times? She was on the cover of Times.
Yes.
But it was an artist redemption, a pencil.
She looked like the most beautiful woman in the world.
As a matter of fact, she looked like Melania, my wife Melania, and she looks like Sophia Loren. But I'm better looking than her. What the? You said you.
I think he's got a crush on her.
I think he got a hard on for her. Hey, look, can I say that? I can say it. Right? Yeah,
Maybe.
I
It's
looked at the
public
list.
access. You can say whatever you like.
And it's not on the list, so I
You're
so
right.
no Twilight Zone. So I think it's just one of those things with him, and he just compared her to his wife, right? She's beautiful. He compared her to Sophia Loren, one of the most beautiful women ever in freaking history, right? So how do you put yourself in that category, dude? You look like the dumpy old, dumpy old. I don't know what you call that guy. What's that guy? Ebenezer Scrooge. That's what you remind me of, especially without the makeup on, without all the orange stuff on. Yeah. So you can't insult somebody. He's slipping. The homie's slipping. You can't insult somebody. You can't insult somebody and then put yourself in that category because you can't say she's ugly, but at the same time she's beautiful. It's like. I'm not gonna say an oxymoron. That's a moron. That's a moronic statement. Okay. So anyway, let's move on from this guy. I was talking about fake stream media. Fake stream media. Oh my gosh, the dog whistles that they send out. The dog whistles. What dog whistles? Oh, the blacks. The blacks are coming to Kamala Harris. The blacks are coming to her. The blacks. The blacks. The blacks. The blacks. The blacks. Okay. Is that it? The black what? You know there are multiple types of blacks, right? There's independents, there's Democrats, there's libertarians, there's Republicans, there's conservatives, there's socialists. There's all types of blacks. So which blacks are you talking about?
The black Republicans,
The black
I think he
Republicans.
was referring to, are jumping ship.
Well, I don't know about the black Republicans. The Republicans, here's the list. When you say the blacks, right? Okay, you're saying Democrats, basically, right? The Democrats are coming, and the young, right? But now they want to categorize everybody as millennials now, right? Except for when it comes to Trump. Oh, the old white people, old white men, old white women, old all soccer moms, young soccer moms, the other soccer moms, and the dads, the baseball dads, and they break it down category by category by category, right? It's like, but hold up. Aren't they like all in the same category? I mean, it's like all white, right? I mean, that 10% that's coming to him, right, that's supporting him, or that 40, 50% that's supporting him are all part of that category, right? No, they want to break it all down. You got to know. And Hispanics and Latinos and Hispanics and the Mexicans. Hold up. What? I mean, this is how they break it down. But
I'm confused.
Yeah, I know it's very confusing, right? It's confusing. But when you talk about categories, and we was talking about this, and I mentioned this about on my pilot show, and it was like what 2000 when we did that first pilot, right before COVID. We had it right here on the stage, right?
I wasn't here. I don't know.
You wasn't here? No. Oh, we had a pilot, man, and it looked like people's heads like exploded when I asked the question. Are evangelicals cult members? People like, what? What did you say?
What did you say?
I asked that question. I said, evangelicals, right? The evangelicals here, Christians, are they cult members? Is that a cult? And now, 4 years later, people are saying evangelicals, they're in a cult. They're in a cult. What's a cult? A cult members are people who are affiliated with a religion, but they believe in an individual, in a person, right? That's a cult. Cult leaders. Cult leaders aren't like deities. Jesus is not a cult leader. The Christianity is supposed to be based on Jesus, but the leaders are the ones who they follow their lead without questioning, even though you have tons of documents, books that's telling you shouldn't even follow that. And then they got this little section of scriptures, only about 10 scriptures long, 15 scriptures long. That's called the 10 Commandments, and it tells you what you need to be doing, right? Thou shalt not covet another man's, wife.
Thou shalt not have false gods before me.
Oh,
right?
no.
Isn't that one of the 10 Commandments?
That's the first. Let's not even go there yet. Let's go from 10 to 9. Let's go from 10 to 1. The first one says that you shouldn't covet your neighbors, what belongs to your neighbors, right?
Wait,
Especially,
was that the first one?
no, that's the 10th one.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no, we're going from 10 to 1.
Okay.
Right? We're not going to hit him with the bomb.
It's like David Letterman's top 10.
Yeah, only in reverse. In reverse. So, the top 10, you go from 10, you go from the weakest to the strongest, right? So it goes, you shouldn't covet your neighbors, right? Your neighbor's wife and belongings, right? Or things that, belong to your neighbor, right? Their wives, that wives come in that category, right? He steals from his neighbors. He assaults his neighbors' wives. That's what that $88 million was. Because people keep thinking E. Jean Carroll. Yeah, E. Jean Carroll, what happened to her was not just happening to her as a woman, but she was a married woman. Remember? Remember the thing with the peppermint, with the NBC thing with Billy Bush? And he was talking about, you pop the peppermint and I go in like a son of a boop, boop, right? That's what he was talking about. Violating that commandment. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Donald Trump was and is still a habitual adulterer. Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels.
No, that nenever happened.
Oh, that never happened. Yeah, that was AI, right? Yeah, imaginary information, whatever they call it. Stormy Daniels, right? What happened? The hush money payment, which was a little bit more. There was oversimplification of what it actually was. It was finance. It was a campaign finance issue with that. It wasn't that he paid her off. Because like I said, with Bill Clinton, when he paid off, I forgot her name, but when he had an affair and he paid her off, it was all up front. I think he paid like $200,000, right, up front. Everybody heard about it, right? This multi-billionaire took money, redirect money from the campaign, stole money. Right? Thou shalt not steal. Stole money from the campaign directed to pay for an adulterous affair that he had. Violation of what? One of the Ten Commandments, right? One of the lower Ten Commandments. And it goes on until you get to the big one. Thou shalt put no other God before thy God, the Lord God. Okay, you put Jesus before God. Okay, all right, I'll give you that. Okay.
There's an asterisk there.
Huh?
There's an asterisk.
Yeah, it's an asterisk because I don't really subscribe to that concept because a God is a God, right? Even Jesus, he's a son of God. Okay, he's a son. He's not God, right? So that means that he's a God, right? And not only that, he's a Nephilim because he is supposedly the direct son of God and a woman, right? Mortal and woman. That makes him a semi-God. So now, if you're putting Jesus before God, then you're putting a semi-God before God. So that's even worse, right? So that's bad. But then they put Trump on a level with Jesus. I was like, what? When I first heard that, I was like, what? What you say? Yeah, he's the second coming. The second coming of what?
Sorry, I had to laugh.
I laughed too. Thank you.
The second coming.
The second of Morning Star. He's the second coming of Morning Star. He's not the second coming of Jesus. No, dude. If anything, he's the second coming of the devil, of Lucifer. I mean, right? That's how. Come on, give it a break, man. So this guy's committed so many different things. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill.
Well, we don't know if he's killed anybody.
I'm gonna put the Trump virus, everybody who died in there because of his incompetence and bungling of that. Yeah, I'm going to put that on him.
COVID.
COVID.
Talking about COVID.
I'm talking about COVID. I'm gonna put it on him because he said personally, I will not allow that virus into this nation, into America. I will not, and not one person will die. But then he started doing all the stupid things. Put some bleach in. Go out. Go when the sun come out. Go out in the sun and hang out in the sun. I mean, the stupidest things. He mishandled it. He mishandled. I'm not even talking about not having the equipment. Like the high costly equipment, like the oxygen lungs and all that things. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about this fool. He's anti-mask. What are you talking about, anti-mask? What? Well, it's not going to stop anything. What? Fauci don't know what he's talking about. Hold up, the guy's been doing this for 40 years, don't know what he's talking about. And you, Mr. Big Brain, who just happened to have an uncle of an uncle that was, a professor at Harvard, makes you a genius, right, Mr. Big Brain? Yeah, okay, sure. I put that on Trump. You know why I put it on Trump? Because of Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity. You remember when the Ebola came in, like 2014 or something like that? The Ebola came to America, and
Obama was president then.
Obama was president.
And did it get worse? No.
12 people contacted the Ebola. 2 people died. The original person, right, who contacted, I believe, in Africa, and then somebody who was really close to him on the ship contacted Ebola, and he died. And there was 10 other people, but they survived. But you know what Sean Hannity said? Take a guess.
Obama killed them.
It's the Obama virus, which says that what? It was Obama's the reason why they died. So look, if it's good enough for the goose, it's good enough for that clown, right? to the orange clown, right? So yeah, I'm just saying, right? So this guy is on another level. He's on another level. But back to what I was saying with the fake stream media. But you see the difference, right? How they sugarcoat everything and they tried to normalize everything. Now they're starting to move away from normalizing his stupidity, right? Because he's a moron. I've been saying he's a moron. Even here on this show, right? I said he was a moron, right? I said he was a coward. He's the type of guy who instigates stuff and then all of a sudden let the crowd go in front of him until whoever it is subdued. Then he wants to go, hey, let me come on, stop, let me come in there. See, somebody like that, if it was a conflict, I can guarantee you, if it's somebody like me, I'm like, yo, dude, do me a favor. Will somebody else hit me because this can't punch for nothing? He's an embarrassment, right? One of you hit me, man. I want to get hit by somebody who know how to hit. I want to hit by this punk right here, because that's what he is. And now people say, oh, he's weak, he's a coward. Well, I've been saying that for years. Even on this show, I've been saying that he's a weak. Oh, he's weak, he's a coward, and they're saying it on the DNC. And it wasn't just the Democrats who were speaking at DNC. It was Republicans who were speaking, calling him a coward. People who was in his administration were saying that he was weak. He's a coward. Republicans, conservatives at the DNC. What the? Yeah. So again, you guys gonna have to give you're gonna have to give me my props on this, man. So back to what I was saying. Fake news media, how they like to deal with things in an asymmetric way. I told you about the dog whistle, black, 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 black. But here's the thing. They left out that not only black people are coming back to supporting Kamala Harris, right? VP Kamala Harris, right? Oh, sorry, presidential, what do you call that thing? When the presidential nominee, Kamala Harris, right? That was good timing. But also, I got a little list here. You hear that? You know what that is? That's paper. I decided to bring my pad instead of bringing my computer. Let's do it. Libertarians, right? The Ronald Reagan libertarians. Old white men for Harris. I don't want to hear Keith, you being racist. That's what they call them. That's what they call it. Old white men for for Harris. That's what they call themselves. And they got people like Jeff Bridges in it. Not Jeff. Is it Jeff Bridges? Is it Bo Bridges? Jeff Bridges, right? Is it the Bridges?
Sure.
Yeah. So Jeff Bridges, right? The I guess he's the older one. Bo is the younger one. So Jeff Bridges, the one from Iron Man, that guy. The old man. You ever see that thing on Hulu? There was a series called Old Man. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Old white men for Harris, right? Evangelicals. Evangelicals. Hear me? Yes, I said evangelicals for Harris. Holy dip. Republicans. Republicans. Republicans for Harris. Republicans, yes.
What about Nikki Haley? Nikki Haley's followers
Ah.
are jumping ship.
Stop it. Don't go too far.
Am I getting ahead of you?
You jump the list. I say Republicans, right? You got Republicans and you got conservative Republicans and conservatives, right? Conservatives for Harris. All right? Independents for Harris. Baby boomers for Harris. Millennials for Harris. Gen Zs for Harris. Libertarians for Harris. Holy dip. And what was the other one you just said? Oh, right. Nikki Haley. What do they call it? They got some.
Yeah, there's an acronym for it.
It's Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley voters for Harris. Wow. But they don't say it like that. If to have them say it, it's the blacks. It's not just the blacks. And I had a conversation with somebody. Well, I had a conversation a few times. I kept telling people, polls don't matter when you're when they were talking about these polls, like last year, the end of the last year. And I was telling somebody, I said, look, dude, what are you talking about? Trump is so far ahead and blah, 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 blah. I said, dude, these polls don't mean anything. These polls really don't do anything. The only polls that matter are when you within a few weeks, really, within a few weeks, a few days nowadays of the election. Those are the only polls that matter. And then those are not all that accurate. They're pretty accurate, but they're not that accurate.
Let's go back.
Yes, okay,
Let's go back. And
To win.
excuse me if I'm saying too much here.
No, you don't. No,
Okay.
No, you never say
Let's
too
go
much.
back to
Now-
2016.
Now you're talking.
All right.
Now you're talking too much.
But let's do that.
Let's go. Let's go back to whoa. No, let's set it up. We're going back to Trump, Hillary Clinton polls where Hillary Clinton was 5 points ahead?
Quite a bit ahead, yeah.
Like within a month.
Within the month.
Okay,
yeah.
let's go.
What happened?
Okay, this is what happened. James Comey happened. He did something that he wasn't supposed to do. He broke federal law. Yes, federal law. Federal law says that you cannot put out anything derogatory within 30 days of the actual election. And remember, even though you might be allowed to vote, whatever, weeks before the actual election day, right? You cannot, no government can put out negative information. If they found out that, this person engaged in some kind of criminal activity, right? Yeah, okay, all right, that's cool, all right. Is it bad? It's bad. Unless that person actually get arrested, you can't put out, this person just was found for embezzling $30 million. The news, they can do it, but not the government. That's what James Comey did. James Comey came out and said, we're reopening within 2 weeks of the election. James Comey came out and said, we're reopening the server thing with Hillary Clinton. Boom. That was it. And Donald Trump started hacking on it. Bam, 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 bam. And the news cycle just drowned out everything else and went with that. And that was like 2 weeks within the election, and the margin of error was 5 points, and Hillary Clinton was 5 points. She was 5 points ahead in the polls. And if James Comey didn't come out and do what he did, then if he didn't throw what do you call that thing? If he didn't throw that life preserver to Donald Trump, if he didn't throw that out there, which was the server thing, right? The Hillary Clinton server thing, had he not thrown that out there, we would have seen a different outcome for that election. So that's what happened. Okay, it's not like Al Gore, the 2000 election with Al Gore and George W. Bush, right? Not his dad, George W. Not George H.W. Bush. Is it H.W. Bush?
H.W. Bush.
H.W. Bush. It was George W. Bush, right? So what happened in that election, even though Al Gore was ahead, Al Gore committed the political sin of taking his foot off the frickin' gas and put it on the brake and thought he could cruise through with 2 weeks left. Didn't work. He lost his own. I think he was from Kentucky or one of those small like states like that, and he lost that. It was It was because if he'd have won his own state, that he lost, guess what? It would have been a different outcome. So that's
he lost in Tennessee.
He lost in Tennessee.
Wow.
His own state. And George Bush he threw it in his face. Said, you know what? If he'd have won his own state, he would have won.
Got that right.
Even though George Bush won Florida, had he won his own state, he would have still won. It's crazy, right? So Al Gore made the sinful mistake of taking his foot off the gas, putting it on tapping the brakes like he was able to cruise through, and it didn't work. It just didn't work. Okay, that's two different things where polls shifted in such a short time. But that's two different. It was two different.
But that was
reasons.
the closest election ever.
Yeah, that was the closest election ever. I mean, this 2016 was a close election because
not that close.
2016, state to state, it was not that many votes.
Hillary won the popular vote, but the electoral, as far as the electoral college goes, it wasn't close.
And it was 1,000 here that gave him X amount of points, 1,000 here. You know, it wasn't like a whole, like he went over here to all these swing states. He went over to these swing states and blew them out by 20, 40, 30, 40, 50,000, a million votes. No. He went over there and he won these states by like 1,000 votes, 2,000 votes. It wasn't much. The closest one to that one was the 2020 election.
2020 was closer than 2016.
2020, I don't even think it was closer.
It was.
I mean, if we're talking about the numbers,
we're not talking about. We're talking about the electoral. I can never.
Oh,
say
that was a blowout.
It was a blowout.
It was a blowout. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the same thing. But I'm saying, if you look at the votes per state, they may have won 20 electrical college votes, but the amount that Biden won by wasn't that great. It wasn't like he won the state by 50,000 votes.
No,
100,000. No, he won it by about
the four, 6 swing states. It was very close.
Yeah, it was very close, and that determined that made the determination. So that was a close election. Even this is looking to be a close election. But I personally believe that the fake stream media is keeping it artificially low. They're keeping these poll numbers artificially low. Because whenever you look at it, the more you look at it, you see Kamala Harris, you see Kamala Harris continuing to grow. Her lead continuing to grow. But they keep saying, no, she's only up 5 points here and 5 points there. How could this person lose? How could this person lose 4 or 5 points? This person gain 4 or 5 points and still be only 4 or 5 points apart. That makes no sense. Think about it. If you lose, if you're at 50, if you're even, and this person lose 4 or 5 points, and you gain 4 or 5 points, that's 8 to 10 points. That gap just expanded to 8 to 10 points. So if this person if they're at 45, and this person hit 50, and that person drops down to 42, that's 8 points right there. That's not 5 points, but they keep saying 5 points. Oh, 5 points here. No, that gap is much bigger.
I think what they're saying was Biden was behind by 2 or 3 points, and then Kamala is now ahead by 2 or 3 points. So that's what makes the 5 points.
Yeah, but it still makes no sense if that person, if
it doesn't matter. What matters is who is ahead now.
Right, and the spread that they have.
Yeah.
Because if Kamala Harris tied, if they were all tied, right? Okay, that means that Biden was down 4 points, right? He was down 4 or 5 points, right? And Trump was up 4 or 5 points. Okay, if Kamala Harris tied Trump a couple weeks ago, if they tied, and that means that they say both at 45 points. And now if he drops 3, 4 points, and she rises 3, 4 points, then that gap increased. So if he goes down to 42 and she goes up to 50, that's 8 points. That's an 8-point difference. It doesn't matter how you cut it. It's an 8-point difference. It doesn't matter what the difference between.
But
Biden,
she's not that far ahead.
I believe she is.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I like how she's running. She's running not as an underdog, but as if she's still in the hole. And I believe that this fake stream media is constantly keeping it, just to keep the ratings up, it's keeping it artificially low. Because even though, I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but Robert F. Kennedy just dropped out the race because he was the third party.
Junior,
right, Robert, because if that guy came back up, we'd be looking at Ghostbusters. We Ghostbusters. You talk about some QAnon stuff going on here? Oh, where? Oh. Is John Kennedy? Where's Tupac? We know. And now I knew I saw Elvis. So, yeah, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dropped out just the other day, right? And
I'm voting for the bear.
Who's the bear?
The bear, the bear cub.
What the hell is a bear cub?
The bear cub. Didn't you hear about the bear, that the whole deal with the bear cub that he left in Central Park?
Who left in Central Park?
Wait a minute. There's no way you haven't heard about that.
I haven't heard about it.
Dude.
Okay, dude.
That's big news.
What news? Who left the bear cub? You still haven't told me. Who left the bear cub?
The story allegedly, and he told this story.
Oh, we talking about Robert F. Kennedy?
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Okay.
Found a bear cub.
Okay.
And then put it in his trunk.
Okay. He found it, but he didn't find it in New York. He found it.
He found it upstate New York somewhere.
Oh, okay. Upstate. All right.
Yeah. He put it in his trunk.
Okay.
And then he was going to keep it and eat it, or I don't know what he was going to do with the poor bear.
He's going to have a fillet.
But then he forgot he was going out, and so he left it in his car, and then he said, well, let me do something with this bear, and he left it in Central Park. And it's been...
Now we know where we get conspiracy.
It's been 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, and there was a mystery until he let the cat the bear out of the bag and said, yes, it was me.
That's what happened to those dogs running around. Those dogs and cats running around in Central Park. No wonder they cut them down. Oh, I was going to say something
He dropped out after that became public. He's like,
what's up with
bear killer?
What's up with these conservatives and their animosity and hatred towards animals? It was like the one who bragged about killing the dog. I killed the dog. I killed that dog.
Well, Kennedy allegedly didn't kill the
But he
bear,
let it go.
but he
Uh,
found it dead. I
Oh,
guess. I don't know. I don't know.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna deal with it on a different, that's a different subject matter for a different time. But yeah, that's a fake stream media. So you heard all the examples of all the other people who are throwing their hats or support behind Kamala Harris, right? These artificial polls. That's why I keep saying about these are artificial polls. You heard about the difference, but the way that this fake stream media and their dog whistles, not even dog whistle, the dog drums, they do the jungle drum, drawing up because they want to make it into a racial thing. They want to make it a racial thing. But white people are supporting Kamala Harris. And now you got Robert F. Kennedy, and he's Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and he dropped out, and there was a lot of people that was going to them. And now people are thinking, well, that might be something. They might go back to Trump. But hold up. Think about this. Nikki Haley, her supporters went to Kamala Harris, or they're not going to vote, right? They're not going to vote. They're going to go. They're going to go to. They're going to go to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, right? So, what makes people think that those voters who didn't want Trump and they went to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. are going to go back to Trump? Those are people who just didn't want Trump, and they were just going to sit it out.
Yeah, but then he went ahead and endorsed Trump. So now what do you do?
So now what do you do? Hold up. You're endorsing this guy who you just said he was a schmuck, he was an idiot, and he was trash talking Trump. So now you're going to go endorse him? You know what you sound like? You sound like Nikki Haley.
Right.
And you sound like Ron DeSantis. You don't sound like, what's the other guy from the former governor of New Jersey?
Oh, Chris Christie.
You don't sound like Chris Christie.
Chris Christie stuck to his guns.
That's the exact thought that was in my head, who stuck to his guns. You want to, after talking all this trash about him, you want to go endorse him, and then you're saying because y'all got some things in common? Really? You had things in common before then, but you didn't have the right things in common. That's why we're going to support you. So who do they go to? Do they sit on the bench, or do they say, you know what? She don't sound bad. She sound like she's more American than Donald Trump. She sound like she's for us. You know what? I ain't gonna tell nobody. Then they go vote for her. Think about that.
People aren't going to admit that they voted for her.
Exactly. And they'll just go, shh. And that's okay.
So when you run a poll, people will say, "Oh, I'm voting for Trump," but in actuality, they're
I don't really want to vote for nobody.
Yeah.
And then they go vote.
Yeah.
And because, there's a new thing that they was talking about, a new poll that came out.
I think that's what happened with Trump and Hillary. I think people that didn't admit they were voting for Trump and did.
I think they were like on the fence. They were leaning towards Hillary, right?
Yeah.
And then James Comey dropped that crap, and they said, psh, okay. Then it got to be real, right? Since he's going to do this now. But there's another poll that's coming out, that came out, and somebody, I forget his name, not from Fair and Balance. Yeah, it might have been a guy from Fair and Balance. He's a podcaster. He was talking about how older white folk, right, are leaning towards and starting to support Kamala Harris. Normally, for the last 40 years, they have been a solid block. I thought they were going to talk about evangelicals when he brought it up. He said, yeah, this is the number one block that was voting for Republicans all the time, conservatives all the time for the last 40 years. Actually, I think say about 50 years, voting for Republicans. Older white people in America, right? But they're breaking towards Kamala Harris. So that's another thing that they're not including in the polls. People are not saying that about the polls. That's why I keep saying they're fake stream media. That includes, and I include Bill Moyer. Did I leave out Bill Moyer? Bill Moyer, yeah, he goes right along with it. Mr. Wanna straddle the line and Mr. Wanna instigate stuff and then want to try and make it sound like he's all centristic and that he's non politically affiliated. He is. He is. Like TYT. And you know, in case y'all don't know how I feel about TYT, the Young Turks, you should know. I'm going to tell you right now. I think they're a bunch of hypocrites.
I
Right?
was going to say that because back when Obama was running, they were all against Obama. They were all against, and all of a sudden, what happened?
Then after Obama won, then they're for, well, you know. But some of his policies, that's how they do. That's TYT. They were talking about during the Democratic National. I love this. I was watch all whatever, how many 50 hours of it, whatever, 40 hours, 10 hours a day. I didn't do all that stuff, but I did watch some major parts of it. And one of it was the last day, Thursday, and which was the last day of the Democratic National Conference, right? So I was literally browsing through 3 different channels, right? Actually 4. USA Today with their caption on the top, "Oh, none of this has been, we have not fact-checked anything that's being said here." They literally had that caption up there. What the heck was that about? Why you even got that caption up there? And that's what they had, the whole thing. But I don't think they had it under the RNC conference, where you should have been fact-checking, right? So I watched that. I watched it under that. CNN, of course. I watched a little bit on MSNBC. Yeah, I watched that. But I watched Fox Live. I watched News Nation, a little bit of News Nation, but I was watching a lot on the Fox Live. It's called it was Fox Live Now, right? And it was broadcasting of course, the DNC.
You mean when Trump called in?
Oh, I didn't see. I heard about the Trump thing. I heard about the call, but I didn't.
They kind of cut him off.
Yeah, because when Fox cut you off, and you talking that rhetoric, and it's so crazy that they got to cut you off, you know you stupid. It's like, who was it? It was Brinkley. It was Brinkley and Roger. Who's the other guy? Roger from back in the days. You had two big names. You had Brinkley and Roger. I forget their name. They was like the biggest names in freaking news, right? And one of them was Walter Brinkley. It was Walter Brinkley and Roger Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite and Roger Brinkley. It was 2 of them. It was a pair.
Right.
And somebody once said that once you lose Walter Cronkite. What was it? How you pronounce his name?
Walter Cronkite.
I can never pronounce the name. This is 70 years, 60 years. I still can't pronounce this guy's name. Walter Cronkite.
Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
Cronkite. Cron, like a crone, and then a kite, like you fly a kite.
Okay, good, because I'm glad you clarified that, because I was like, I can't really say that. I can't really say kite on this show.
He was supposedly the most trusted man in America.
And that's what they said. When you lose him, you can forget about it. You done lost the election. That's how powerful of a news figure that he was. That's how much of a power broker he was. And he was just a newsman. He was just a newsman, right? But he was so trusted that, that once you lost him, that was it. And it's like when you lose Fox, then it's it. It's a whole different thing. So when you lose Fox, you got to think about that. So anyway, Fox is over here broadcasting. I went to, what was that other one? The one that you mentioned, the one that's Newsmax.
Newsmax, yeah.
The one that's right of Fox, right? Okay, I went to them and
It's
they had
further to the right than Fox.
further to the right of Fox, right? They're like queuing. They're between. They're okay because they're between Fox and QAnon. You got Newsmax, right? So they were like They were like they got the 3 windows and they really. I was watching that, but the one I like most was when I went to TYT because they got a network now, right? They got a news network. So
They
it's
have a
something.
news network or an app.
No, they have a news network that they telegraph. I mean, they broadcast through an app, but they also I think they're they have one. I think they. I'm not sure. I gotta look up on this, but I believe they have it also. One of those like those
Some cable companies may pick
some
him
of
up.
those like
Yeah.
oh we need everybody. Anybody
Yeah.
can broadcast on here. Cable company. Yeah, they got it on there. But so anyway, I turned into there and there's this guy called the Damage Report. What's his name? Oh, I got his name right here. Let me see. I have his name. John Iadorla. Darla, whatever. Anyway, it's the Damage Report, right? He's sitting there, and first you got Ann Kaspararian, whatever her name. I can't pronounce any of these people's names. I can only pronounce Jink name, and he's misspelled his
Oh,
name.
John Iadorla.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And you're Italian?
Yes. See.
And he's Italian. And he can barely pronounce his name, so I don't feel bad at all. Now.
Iadorla.
Thank you for the support.
Iadorla.
Thank you for the support. I adore her.
Iadorla.
I adore her. So anyway, he's sitting up there. He got his shirt and tie and jacket on, and he's sitting up there. And Ann Kasparian, right? They're split screen. He's on top. She's on the bottom. Don't get your mind out the gutter, right? And you got the caption on. You got the other window with the DNC being broadcast, and you can see Ann is trying to, she's making little snide comments, but she can't go all out. She can't go all out. It's like, okay, why? Because that's what they do. That's what TYT. That's what these two individuals do. Ann and Jink. That's what they do. So finally, it was like, I guess Jink got tired because she's not doing her torpedo job on the speakers and all that stuff because they got they thing together. It's a heck of a show. That's what they're putting on a heck of a performance here at the DNC. So he gets up there and he's like, no, and he can't say anything. And John is over like, you see him, he's over there because Jink is under and John is like. Yeah, yeah, buddy. That's why I ain't saying nothing. I ain't even thinking about saying nothing. I'm just here enjoying this show, and that's how it is. That's TYT. Not all of them are like that, but those two individuals are like shiesty. They are. They're shiesty. They're in the fake stream media. I mean, you got a lot of people. You got a lot of people who are part of that network. You got Indisputable. You got
Well, I think the Young Turks will go with anything that's going to get them the most hits on, like, say, YouTube, for instance. And like right now, it's pretty popular. That's pile on Trump.
Right.
So that's the way they're going.
Oh no, they flip over as they go along.
Yeah.
As you get closer to the end, you see how treacherous they get. Then you see them start to come out with this. But Kamala's not. She's not identifying. She's not giving any kind of in depth. She's not getting in depth with her policies. What are you talking about? She said, look, she wants to lower taxes on middle class, and she wants to make women's rights, abortion rights, all that stuff legal on the federal level. She wants to strengthen Roe v. Wade. They want to bring it back. She's telling you all the things that she's doing. She's not being clear about.
What do you mean? How much more clear can you be?
Yeah, what are you, stupid? You stupid. Listen to how.
Wait a minute, but wait a minute. Is she black?
She's black. Oh my God. That's why all the black people come, because the black people understand what she's saying. You mean
when did she turn black?
I think she turned black at birth. And here's a funny
But I
thing.
thought she was Indian. She turned black.
Yeah, but you want to hear something funny? The Donald Trump actually donated to to her campaign in like 2014 when she was the DA or the Attorney General in California.
He donated to her.
He
How do we know this? How do
he-
we know this?
it was reported in the news. I gotta find which article, but
Right.
they reported it as him donating because people don't understand. Donald Trump has not been a lifelong Republican. Donald Trump has only been a Republican recently. So that's
He's not actually a Republican.
he's they took over the Republican Party, and that's another thing that I keep telling people. I've been telling people for a while that Americans in general, we have a lot in common. It don't matter what your political affiliation. If you're American, we have a lot in common. We don't have 100%. We're not going to see 100% eye to eye. But if you go Democrat, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get 80 to 90% of what you need and even what you want. If you go with these individuals, these conservatives, you're going to lose 70% of what you need and what you should have. And they're going to reshift that off. And I've been saying this for years. We're never going to we're never going to see eye to eye.
I always tell people, make a list of the things that are important to you.
Exactly.
Make the list and then see which candidate represents what you believe.
Exactly. And if you get 80% of that, then you are good because you're not going to get 100%. You're just not. Nobody's going to get 100%. But you're going to get 60 to 70% taken away from you with these conservatives. Because think about it. I want you to think about some of these things. I'm going to go through a little list real quick because I don't have much time.
You don't.
Thank you very much.
I don't even know if we have time for the list.
Thank you very much for bringing that up. 2 minutes. I could do it in 2 minutes. Okay, they want to take away the things before. They want to go back, right? Here we go. This is what they want to take away from you, right? They want to go back to before the Federal Reserve, so they want to get rid of the Federal Reserve, right? They're the ones who control the money, the budget, and stuff like that for our nation, right? They want to get rid of Social Security, where we have over 100 million people on Social Security, or will be on Social Security in the next few years, right? We have, no?
Sorry, go ahead.
Dude, you got people think I'm lying. Stop doing that. You want to get rid of Medicare, right? They want to get rid of Medicare. They want to get rid of health care, right? Which is not the same. It's not the same. They want to get rid of women, all the things in the women's suffrage, which was the 17th Amendment. They want to get rid of that. Then they want to get rid of, what else? The Environmental Protection Agency. They want to get rid of all these things. They want to get rid of the education. They want to get rid of all these things. Right? That's what they want to get rid of. And they want to redirect it to the very wealthy, to the haves and the have-nots. Or like George Bush once said, his crowd, the haves, you remember this one? And the have-mores. That's George Bush. Anyway, I want to thank y'all. I told you it was going to be an exciting show, right? Always exciting. Y'all have a good one. I be Keith. This be the show. yo, I'm tired of these people. Let it hang up, man. We could cut it. Cut. Nah, I'm only joking. Let the music run out. But if I get a chance, I'm a light dude up. You want to talk about a rap battle me? Now I don't battle. I go to war. WAR. It ain't funny, man. You think it's funny? I'm serious.